All right, we're live. Welcome to Digital Nomads Having Coffee, episode 2, and we're here on the roof, or water, whichever, beverage of your choice. And we're here on the roof, or at the roof, I'm not sure where to say on the roof or at the roof, in Las Palmas de Gran Canaria. And I'm Niall Doherty, with me is Danny Rustine.
Hey guys, we're at the roof and on the roof, because this place is called The Roof.
It's called The Roof. Let's talk a little bit about this place to start, because this is this is the best co-living space I've seen.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't have much experience, but you should give them a pano of the place after this call.
Yeah, actually, good idea. We'll do that at the end. I might give you like a quick little tour without infringing on the privacy of other people that are here.
Yeah.
Because we haven't told them that we're going to be doing that. But it's this massive roof terrace. There's 7 bedrooms. Really cool. Like lots of workspace areas, and the terrace goes all the way around, and it's right in Las Palmas, and it's 5 minutes from the beach.
And it's brand new, so everything is brand new, and the Wi-Fi. I don't know about in your room, but I'm the second room, and usually with it's really long. In my room, the Wi-Fi works perfect, which is not true with a lot of places.
Even out on the back terrace,
it works good.
It works fine there. Rita was working outside there yesterday. So great place if you ever want to come to Gran Canaria and get some work done and live with cool people. I think this is very hard to beat. So what we're going to do on this, if you're not familiar with Digital Nomads Having Coffee, it's just us basically hanging out, having a coffee, or having a drink of some sort, and we'll take questions live. I'm going to make sure I have it up on my screen here so I'll see questions coming in live. So anything related to digital nomads, basically. I've been a digital nomad 7 years now. We'll get into Danny's story in a second as well. So if you're interested in it, if you're new to it, or even if you've been doing it a while and want to ask us questions, please do. Let's see. Where is the live? Here we go. I see it. It says it's live now. Okay. So we see any questions popping up there. 1 view so far, which is probably Rita. But that's fine.
No, that's 100. You didn't see those other 2 zeros.
I was rounding down a lot.
Oh my god, 1,000!
Yeah. Well, I'm sure everybody will tune in on the repeat. Well, give us your story. When did you get started as a digital nomad?
Yeah, I got started. It depends when you count my first day, but I did 3 months in Australia early this year. And then I moved home for 2 months, back to San Francisco, sold all my crap, moved out of my apartment, and then left and went to Europe, and now I'm still in Europe. So either 3 or 8 months I've been doing this digital nomad thing, and so far it's exceeded my expectations.
Pretty good, yeah?
Yeah.
And you've been
especially
around...
I'll just make a quick point for me specifically, especially coming from like San Francisco, ignoring the fact that all my friends think I'm on vacation and they ask me, how do you have all this money to be on vacation? San Francisco is super expensive, so like anywhere I go, it's gonna be cheaper, at least with that perspective, which is kind of a nice added bonus for me specifically.
Yeah. So are you from San Francisco originally?
I'm born and raised in Redwood City, which is 30 minutes south of San Francisco.
Okay.
Which, even though it's near San Francisco, it's totally not San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, when did you start working for yourself?
I started working for myself. So my brief story is the whole reason why I'm here is because I got fired from from 2 jobs ago.
Okay, so you're gonna say from 2 jobs.
Actually, that's maybe the second one is a bit hazy because I quit a month and a half, and then 2 days before my last day, she's like, "Oh, you don't have to work anymore."
Okay.
But I kind of like it. I kind of like qualifying it as being fired twice, anyways.
Yeah.
Kind of adds to the story.
Yeah.
But I was at Airbnb. And I'm an accountant. My prior life, I'm an accountant,
right?
Regular accountant that everyone has at their companies, sitting in the desk from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Wow.
Crunching numbers. So I did that for a while, and I was kind of smart enough to get by. But after a while, I knew inside that I wasn't cut out for this. I wasn't excelling, but I didn't have the gusto myself to quit, so I had to quit and do this. So I had to get fired to do this. So you don't have to get fired to do this, but it was the best thing that happened to me because I I left and I worked for an Airbnb property management company. So I kind of left accounting beside, stayed with Airbnb, did Airbnb property management. Now I run a website at optimizemyairbnb.com, which helps English-speaking hosts anywhere around the world improve their listing rank by improving their listing. And then also I give them tips, because I'm a host myself, been a host for a while, manage properties remotely. I also give them tips on how to deal with the guests in certain situations, how to message flows and things like that, because reviews are a big part too.
Cool.
And that's what I do. I'm very Airbnb now. That's what I do now, Airbnb.
Yeah, and you optimize my Airbnb.com.
Yes.
Is the site, and there's a link to that in the description for this episode. So you're how far in since you started that business? How long ago?
I started it, the first optimization I ever did, I sold for $5 and it took me 45 minutes. That was in June of last year.
Okay, so about 14, 15 months ago?
14,
right?
15 months ago, yeah. That was a very loose start date though.
Okay.
I would say August is the official start date of last year. That's when I got my first initial really crappy website up and made a few sales from it.
And it's been just over a year and going good?
Yeah.
Yeah? Don't want to go back to 9 to 5?
It's I realized I never would go back to the 9 to 5 unless if I did go back to the 9 to 5, it would be Airbnb. That'd be the only company, because I've been there already and I know a lot of people and I know how the office works, and it's very much I wouldn't go in accounting. Let me make that clear.
Right.
But no, once you leave it behind, and I didn't go straight digital nomad. I worked for an Airbnb property management company, but I worked from home and I was totally remote and autonomous. And once I realized that, oh my God, I can get groceries in the middle of the day, avoid traffic, avoid lines, go to the dentist,
Go to the gym in the middle of the day.
Go to the gym in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
It's not even something you think about when you do a 9 to 5. It's just that's how life is. You have to schedule it in or take time off, and if you take too much time off, your boss marks you down. So once I realized that, it was kind of no turning back after that. Every single aspect of my life was my decision.
Yeah, I love the freedom of it as well. Like just yesterday morning, I was awake. I woke up at 3 a.m. because of a mosquito.
Here?
Yeah, in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And I got up and turned on the lights.
Oh, was it buzzing in your ear?
Yeah, well, he got me 2 or 3 times, but also in my ear.
I woke up too because it was buzzing. How annoying is that?
Yeah. And so I woke up, and then I was like, okay, this guy has to die. And I was basically sitting on a chair in the middle of the room with the light on, just waiting for him to make an appearance so I could kill him. And I couldn't get him.
No.
So in the end, I just got up. And I came down and lay on the couch here and read a novel for 3 hours.
Oh,
then
at least you were productive.
Well, it was like a crime thriller. It's not for my business. But I went and did that and just enjoyed this really good novel, and I finished the novel. And then I went back to bed, and I didn't get up until 11. And that was fine.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
That's a Thursday morning, and I was like, it's such a simple little thing, but that flexibility to me is just priceless.
Yeah. The other side of the coin is you have this bug in your ear, but you have to be at work at 8, so you're just frustrated from the moment you get up, and you're frustrated throughout the day. Yeah. And then you just say, okay, I'll just get extra sleep tonight, and then tonight something happens.
Yes. Although, because obviously being a digital nomad, it's not all oh, it is the best thing, but you're still getting paid. When you work for yourself, if you do that for a day, you're in trouble. You're not going to be making money.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's not so true for me, because I had, especially in the Airbnb office, there was no offices, so everyone saw your computer screen. So for me, and accounting, if you're not in your desk working, you're getting docked. So for me, that wasn't so true. But I did have friends who had these days, and they would be messaging me on Facebook, and I'd be like, remind me what you do again.
Yeah.
Where you can just chill at work one day.
I think that's a lot of people though.
Yeah, I think so too.
Most office jobs, I think people are just quickly switching over to look productive. But
every 30 minutes or so.
But I kind of like that about working for myself though, is that it kind of forces me to tie more of what I'm actually doing. How do I put it? That the effort I put in is directly rewarded.
Yeah.
I can actually see the financial reward for that, rather than you know, in a lot of office jobs, you can't really see how what you're doing translates into money, you know, for the company.
Or it's a longer term thing, or like if you're on salary, if you work 8 or 10 hours a day, in the short term you're getting paid the same amount. In the long term, maybe, you know, you'll build up some good credibility. But yeah, that's totally it.
Yeah. All right, let's dive into some questions, will we?
Yeah.
We got one comment, and it says, "Congratulations, this is your most commented on live video yet."
Did that comment make it the most commented on?
I guess so. Why did you agree to do this, Danny? Nobody's watching. But,
hey, I post pictures on my Facebook, and I don't get 2 comments. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. This is fame to me.
Okay. Perfect. Well, just on the off chance that anybody does tune in, let's dig into some questions. Nancy, who's in my 3M1K course, she was watching the last broadcast, the first episode, and she sent along a few questions. So we can dive into those. Actually, Rita, can you keep an eye on time as well? Let me know when we're at like 25 minutes. When we're 25 minutes in, just let me know.
I can't see live.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess 25 minutes will be in another 15, I guess. Okay.
If you all are wondering who's watching, we do have a live audience member in studio right now.
Yeah. Technically, it is a live studio audience.
Yeah.
I guess. Okay, so first question is about retirement, and this is something that comes up quite regularly. And so Nancy wrote, the old model, aka the kind of 9-to-5 model, is to build wealth, save money, retire. Do digital nomads plan for retirement, or does the freelance lifestyle never consider retirement because they believe that they will always be living a lifestyle that supports their lifestyle? So basically, the question is, as a digital nomad, do you plan for retirement? Should you plan for retirement? So how do you think about that?
That's a good question, but it's super subjective, so I can answer for myself.
Yeah.
And I came from 4 years in the traditional corporate job where by nature I am a saver, so I've always had it little. People would give me a gift and I would save it. People would ask me when I was super young, like, what are you saving for? And most people would be like, a boombox or something, and I was like, what a ridiculous question. I don't know what I'm saving for. I'm just saving. Something will come up.
You must have been a good accountant with that attitude.
The best saving. Accountant that ever got fired.
Yeah.
So I've always saved, but now I've definitely switched my mindset where I spend a lot more now to enjoy life.
And we're back.
Back by popular demand.
With our second camera. The Wi-Fi crapped out on my phone for some reason. Still working on the laptop, so we'll continue on here. Not sure when I cut off, but we were just talking about retirement, so let's kind of wrap up that part. Was there anything else you wanted to say on it?
Yeah, in summary, I was just saying it's always good to save if you can. When you start digital nomading, you probably won't have that much to save, but it's still a good idea to save and not spend frivolously. Also, there's a lot of places in the world where you can live for pretty luxuriously for $1,000 a month. And medical, there's a thing called medical tourism where you can get, especially in the United States or in these westernized countries, medical tourism is where you go and you get medical treatment done at half or less the cost, and you get a vacation as well.
Yeah.
So it's not, you don't have to save $1.5 million to retire comfortably.
Yeah, a lot of people do think that when they're working a 9-to-5 job, say they're making $4,000 a month or whatever, and they feel like, oh, if I want to do this digital nomad thing, often they think they need more because they're going to be traveling.
Yeah.
But
because they're in the vacation mindset, they think it's going to be vacation, but it's not.
Especially if you travel slowly. I mean, like, how long are you here for? 2 weeks in Gran Canaria?
2 weeks only. Yeah, that's pretty short though. When you do like a month or so, then you can get like longer term housing and get discounts on housing, which is for me at least been the biggest expense.
Yeah, but even if you're in a place for 2 weeks, you can get lower rates if you can stay in a co-living place.
Yeah.
Even just staying in a place that has a kitchen and getting groceries, so you're not eating out all the time.
Yeah, groceries.
You can save a lot of money that way. I want to come back to that $1,000 a month figure in a minute, but I really only started taking saving for retirement seriously about a year ago, and it was after I read I Will Teach You to Be Rich. You know that book by Ramit Sethi?
I know who he is. I haven't read the book.
Well, that book was the kick in the ass I needed. And Ramit Sethi, I've seen him say himself that it's a bit of a kind of a spammy book title, I Will Teach You to Be Rich. But I really do recommend it if you just want to get serious about saving and investing. And it's just kind of real practical guide to that. So about a year ago, I started putting aside money every month in savings and investments because, you know, working for myself, I don't have like the 401k type thing or any kind of normal retirement accounts. So you kind of just have to take full responsibility for it and do it yourself. That $1,000 a month figure that we mentioned, that brings us to a question from Patrick Rogers. This was posted in the Digital Nomads Around the World Facebook group. And he was saying that this $1,000 a month budget comes up a lot for digital nomads. And he wants to know, how often do you travel on that kind of budget? How often do you fly somewhere new? So he's basically wondering, is that a realistic number? Like, can you live comfortably as a digital nomad on $1,000 a month?
If the answer is, well, it seems it's probably a bit low. I would just say generally shoot higher than what you think, maybe double it even, just because you don't want to be all freaked out in a foreign country. Yep. You also have to take into consideration flights. Yeah, that's a big expense. But if you're at $1,000 a month, it restricts you a bit where you're going to be at. You're going to be at Southeast Asia, probably, maybe South American countries. Mm-hmm. But it would restrict you, and those two destinations are very far apart. So it's going to restrict you a good amount. But there are, I mean, go on Nomad list.
Yep.
And they say cost of living, it's relatively accurate, give or take, 20%. But there's numerous places where it's I see $600, $700, $800. So I think it's doable, but probably not the safest thing to do.
Yeah, there's not a big margin for error if you're just earning about $1,000.
And you're no longer on a salary. So 1 month you're going to earn $200, 1 month you're going to earn $2,500. Yeah, there's a big gap.
And you want to have a bit of a safety net, like savings, just in case, to hold you over. I think Eastern Europe as well, and parts of Central America, you can live. You're living better than most locals on $1,000 a month in those places. Make sure this is still going.
That's true. I'd say that's true.
But yeah, definitely the more the better. What was the other point I wanted to make about that? I forget.
Maybe the question is, like, he's already running a business and he's at around 1,000. What mark do you need to be at on average to jump into the lifestyle? Maybe.
I mean, when I started, I was earning less than that per month, I think. I have all monthly finance reports on my site, so you can actually see exactly how much I was earning for the past 7 years each month.
Wow.
Yeah, a little obsessive. But yeah, I wasn't earning a lot when I kind of took the leap and I started this big round the world trip. You just need to be more careful about where you go, and you need to plan ahead a bit more, especially for flights. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, they're going to be very expensive. Like you were in Stockholm recently, right? Like, that's not a place where you can be doing well on $1,000 a month.
No.
Yeah.
There's a term called location independent, and then there's a term called digital nomad. Like, digital nomad is typically like Southeast Asia, Central, South America.
Yeah.
Location independent is someone who can live anywhere and work remotely.
Right.
And Stockholm would be categorized as location independent territory for sure.
Yeah.
But I was only there for a week. It's not. I'm not balling out of control yet.
Yeah. Yeah. Myself and Rita were in Japan recently for 10 days, and I think we did it on a pretty good budget, or like a pretty low budget. But it's not a place you want to be hanging out for like 2-3 months at a time, as opposed to here in Gran Canaria. You can live quite comfortably on a lot less. And I'd say $1,000 in a month is pushing it.
Glass of wine here for €1.
Yeah, there are some things that are very cheap.
To compare, with back home, it's like $8-9.
And gym is cheap as well, right?
Gym is pretty cheap. Yeah. It's $25 for 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay, let's get another question. Actually, let me just check the live stream. All right. we kind of talked about this already. What do you miss, if anything, about the old model of employment? So I said about the days we can go in and just coast and still get paid. Anything you miss?
I've only been doing this for, like I said, between 3 and 8 months, and I've heard the biggest downside to this is the loneliness factor kicks in after a while in relationships.
Right. Yep.
But I'm kind of I'm fine with living by myself and doing all that. So it hasn't hit me yet. So I've been literally, there's nothing that I miss that I can think of. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Well, actually, I should have gone through this at the start, but the last 3 months or so.
Yeah.
Tell us where you've been, because you've been living it up.
It's been a lot. I went to the original plan was Estonia for 2 months, and then Georgia for 2 months, and then Dubai for a month, and then I'm headed back to California for a week. Instead, what I did is Estonia for like a month, and then Latvia, and then Stockholm, and then
St. Petersburg,
Helsinki, and then St. Petersburg,
yeah,
and then Portugal, and now I'm here. So
Sweet.
that's a lot of travel. That's
Yeah.
not going to be normal, but I'm so new at it. I'm like, oh, there's all these places. Like,
yeah.
why would I go to Georgia when I could go to here, and here for like specific reasons? So my eyes are still like kind of big, but that's slowing down already. I'm here. The next place I'll be in for at least a month.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I was the same for. Well, sometimes I still go through that where I just do a lot of travel in a short space of time. But yeah, it gets exhausting. It really does. Next one. Let's do 2 more, and then we wrap it up.
Okay.
Do a little quick tour of the place. Let's see. We'll scroll down. Yeah, let's do the insurance question, which comes up quite often. So Thao Nguyen, is that how you pronounce that name? It's a Vietnamese name, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. He was asking about this in the Digital Nomads Around the World group, and Oscar Cassetti asked pretty much the same question. So it's, what do you do for travel insurance, health insurance? Because especially if you're coming from the US, that's usually tied to your job. So how do you handle that?
So I'm from the US, and so travel insurance you want to avoid. That's only Digital Nomad Insurance, maybe one of those companies.
There's Nomad
World, I think it's called. World Nomads.
Yeah.
That's travel insurance. So this you want to avoid. This goes on top of your regular insurance. So I don't have travel insurance. I have regular worldwide insurance, and I pay half. I think it's like $120 a month for full coverage and beyond, like maximum coverage. In the US, I was paying like $450 a month for like,
wow,
basically it only kicks in when I die coverage.
how useful.
Yeah. So it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's that alone saves you. This is going back to like $1,000 a month. You think now you have $400 expense in medical. No, it's actually going to be
less,
maybe even $50 if you don't want premium insurance for everything. If you just want an emergency only.
Are you comfortable sharing the company you use?
Yeah, I am comfortable sharing it, but just know that everyone's situation is super different. And I finally looked into it. I spent, I'm not joking, 72 hours full, 3 days calling. I created a spreadsheet. I'm happy to share this spreadsheet with your audience.
If anyone wants it, drop a comment.
Yeah, it's not professional. It was done for me, but I find it took a lot of hours to put together. And it breaks down maybe 5 or 6 companies that I initially screened, and I called them a dozen times and really got to the nitty gritty. And I chose GeoBlue.
GeoBlue.
Okay.
Yeah,
they were the best. There was a close second. I forget the name, but email us for the spreadsheet. It should be pretty helpful.
So, a few questions about that. It covers you worldwide, including the US, when you go back to the US?
It does. This one does not include when I go back to the US, so okay. I have to get, you know what, I have to look into that. Some of them do offer you like 30 days complimentary coverage.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if GeoBlue does. If they don't, though, there's a lot of insurance out there cheap that offer 30 days, just short-term gap insurance. But that's something good to be aware of.
Yeah, and another question on that is extreme sports. If you go snowboarding, for example, and you fall and break a leg and have to get airlifted to the hospital, is that covered?
Yes. This is the fine print that makes it so frustrating. And hopefully I'll save some of your viewers or people who tune in later some hours. But this is when you get into the fine print. Like everyone's fine print is different, drastically different. So what I did is I asked specifically about things that I thought might be. Extreme sports is one. They do cover it. A lot don't. Yeah. So it's something that's another thing to be aware of when you're shopping around.
Yeah, and I use a company. It's actually pretty similar. I pay about $110 a month, and I paid it all in one go. Like I paid a year in advance because I got a discount, and then I just automatically have $110 go into a separate account or a sub account. So when it comes around to next year, it's not a sudden big expense. But they cover me worldwide, including Ireland. I'm from Ireland. I don't think I mentioned that earlier.
They include the U.S.?
Yeah, every country in the world.
Oh, wow.
And it's emergency, extreme sports, evacuation stuff. What I did, because I did quite a lot of research as well, is I was calling up companies and saying, what if, I'm hiking in Peru and I break my leg and have to get airlifted? Is that covered? What if I'm home in Ireland? Like, is it covered if something happens to me there, if I get hit by a bus? So I just asked them these very specific questions in different scenarios to see if they could, if I was going to catch them out. And I even recorded those calls as well, just in case. So if anything ever happens and they were like, that's not covered, I could be like, but you told me it was. So I think that the main message is do your due diligence. Like, there's no one size fits all insurance. It really depends on what you're going to be doing, where you're going to go, where you're from. And then you have to figure in the deductible as well. Right? I have like $1,000 deductible. I really only wanted health insurance for like the $10,000, $20,000 hospital bills if they come along. Anything less than 1,000, I can cover without too much trouble.
Which do you use?
Which company?
Yeah,
it's called IN Global.
Oh, okay. I looked at that one. Yeah. Is that an Irish company?
No.
Okay.
I'm not even sure where they're from. I actually looked at an Irish company as well, which I had a few years ago. And I stopped using them and I went back to look at them again. But I think it was just price in the end. I think it was the same coverage, except the other one was like $10 a month cheaper.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, pay attention to customer service too. Make sure they are available 24/7. Online chat is big for me. That just makes it a lot easier.
Yep. Okay, let's do one more. Yeah, let's do this one because it should be pretty quick, I think. This is from Suchi Rudra, posted this in the Global Digital Nomads Network Facebook group. By the way, these groups that I'm mentioning, if you want information on becoming a digital nomad or have questions, they're really, really good. There's tens of thousands of members in there. But Suchi was asking in there, what is your one best strategy to help you stay sane while working from home every day? Which is kind of what we're doing here if you consider this our temporary home.
The thing I do to stay sane is I don't typically. Here it's a
different. Don't stay sane?
I don't I don't work from home.
Okay, I got you.
I try and separate these two things. I usually go to a library because they're free and the Wi-Fi is good. Here it's a little different because it's only 2 weeks I'm here.
Yeah.
The space is literally gigantic. And I have my own private room and the internet's good. So I've been here a lot.
But is it important for you to have a kind of a separation of space that you're not like working in the same room that you're sleeping?
Yeah, that's at the bare minimum. I never work on my bed. I can in my room. You got to be pretty flexible, but ideally on a typical schedule, I'll go, I'll wake up in the morning, go to the gym, come back and relax, and then right around noon, go to the library or go to a co-working space.
Yeah, I like to have that separation too. And I think the main thing for me is I use what's called an accountability partner or like a mastermind group or mastermind buddy. And I message him at the start of every day and I tell him, these are the most important things I'm going to get done today. And then I also have to message him that night and tell him which I got done and which I didn't. And he never really replies to these messages. I know he sees them, but it doesn't really matter if he replies. It's just forcing yourself to write down like what are the most important things I'm going to do today, and then forcing yourself to at the end of the day look back on that and see what you got done. Because if you're really procrastinating on something, you like a lot of times when you're procrastinating something, you just try and forget about it or just not think about it. But this puts it in your face. And especially when you're sending it to someone else, if the same thing is coming up every day that you're supposed to be doing and you keep reporting in the evening that you're not doing it, you know, if you have a good accountability partner, they're going to get on you about that and figure out a way to help you get it done.
That's a great tip. And once you become a digital nomad, you find these hacks. And that's a great one. I read an article many years ago before I was doing this, where it was from a successful entrepreneur, and he basically said he became successful. He attributed it to what you basically said, holding himself accountable, setting these are my goals for today. Yeah,
and it's kind of like the retirement thing, saving for retirement. Like you just have to take more responsibility when you work for yourself, especially when you're in all these cool places with lots of distractions. There's no boss looking over your shoulder. You know, there's no automatic taking Social Security out of your paycheck. You just kind of gotta be on top of things yourself and make sure you get it done. Yeah. All right, I think we'll wrap it up there. Tell people again where they can find you online.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. I hope I provided some value to your viewers. To your future viewers. Yeah. You can find me if you have an Airbnb or you know people who have Airbnbs, or at optimizemyairbnb.com. And I have a blog there that's I think pretty good. I've gotten some compliments that I'm the best Airbnb blogger, but it's small. I don't have too many followers, so it's a small sample size. But check it out. If you anything to do with Airbnb, definitely check it out. Shoot me an email. Yeah.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to make more money from their Airbnb listing, you're the guy to go to.
Yes.
Yep. Cool. And I'll have links. I'll follow up and put some links in the comments here. And thanks everybody for watching. Thanks again, Danny, for joining us. I'm going to give you a quick little tour here in a second. But last thing I want to say is I'm trying to do these episodes regularly. I'm going to try and aim for like once a week. Might be a little optimistic, but we'll throw that out there and see how it goes. So give the page a like and drop in any comments. Doesn't have to be on the live videos. If you drop a comment anytime, I'll see it and we'll try and get to it in the next one. Okay, that'll do it.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, folks. Let me give you a quick little tour here. Let's see. Now, all right, so this is the terrace, the very, very big terrace. And it goes all the way around, so that you could actually like jog around the entire apartment. And so you can see down the side of it here. And I'll tell you what, I'll bring you down the side. And then I'll give you a little look in the living room, because the living room area is really cool too. So this is another kind of a place to eat, place to work. And this goes all the way down the side, and there's a hammock down there. This is the living room with people working away. And last thing I'll show you is the hammock area. Go to the roof.io and hammock. Like I said, it's 7 bedrooms, and I've stayed in a handful of co-living places now. This raises the bar significantly. So if you're ever in Las Palmas de Gran Canaria, want to stay someplace cool for a few weeks and get some work done, meet some cool people, definitely check it out. All right, everyone. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.